Dungeon Party. This is...
I'm sorry. What was
Party Dungeon. Alright, well, as always, I'm your Blake Peoples DM, and cast this is. Welcome to the last ever filming session of this season of Dungeon Party. That's sad. We all graduate from college in 3 days.
Stop.
Except for Michael.
Big wild world. I'm so nervous.
Who's already been out in the big wild world, seeing more of it than most of us. Yeah, so this has been a fun time for me. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys liked it too. I don't know. This filming session will be split into 2 episodes though, so, you'll see that. And we hope you enjoy the end of this little thing that we did. Yeah, so, check out our social media. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Thank you to Elliot, our Patreon patron, making a solid $1 a month, and I love it. Yeah, that's all that I usually say. Alyssa, who's our sponsor this week?
Our sponsor this week is the embrace of the cold, dead void of space.
Yep. We're about ready to get hugged by the dead, cold expanse of space.
I don't
we
like
hope you
cold
do too.
hugs. I prefer warm hugs.
Well,
We
tell
can
that
get you
to
a gas
space.
giant. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I think that's it. Oh, you gotta say your thing, Peter.
I wasn't here.
Smash that like
No.
button and hit that bell.
Yeah, toll the dead on our
You know
channel.
What to do?
Don't toll it down on our channel.
Toll the dead on our channel. Okay.
It's so loud.
It's awful.
Want it again?
No.
It actually doesn't peak that much in the audio, so that's good. Okay.
It just hurts us. Is anything?
Nope, it's quiet, and that's the way I like it. It's easier to make things louder than it is to make them quieter.
Is that the way you guys like it, audience?
Well,
They love a
stop.
ASMR.
You have to stop.
You know
The
who
longer
doesn't like?
this happens, the longer we have to sit here.
I'm glad that this is a chore.
Listen, I'm stalling for time.
So, last time, some stuff happened. Cool. So, in the wake of their friend being attacked by a masked individual known as Cerebrosus, and their memories being stolen, and clones of themselves popping up all over the place, as well as many other important people in the world, our heroes have set off in search of a way to track down these clones, these doppelgangers, and try to get their memories back. In order to do so, they went to the city of Sithis in the Zymor Empire, and they met up with a Shadar Kai individual named Eerie, who agreed to help track down their targets in exchange for really not that much money at all, in comparison to the rest of the people. Did you take the thing out? Put it back in. And Kira got cursed a little bit, so. Yeah.
As you do.
That's pretty much where we left
Nothing
off.
deserve the things that happened to me. Amen, sister. Amen.
Cool. So y'all wake up the next morning.
Did I have my weird dream just now, or was that?
Then you went back to sleep. I can only assume.
Okay. Cool.
Your horses and unicorn are all
And stag.
here, and stag are all here.
My unicorn is deader, so it needs speed. I didn't have a second thought to say.
All right.
I'm sorry. This is really riveting content.
I think so.
No, I'm talking about myself.
What's the plan? The morning rings in.
Hello, friends.
Hello, Kira.
That's not it.
What was my voice?
Hi, folks. I bought this armor yesterday, and it made me feel funny. Does anyone want to look at it, maybe with magic?
Sure, Kira. I'll take it.
I don't know how magic works, to be fair.
Sure, I'll take a look at that.
It's the one with the spiky.
Yeah, the spiky thing.
Before I do anything, I'm just gonna say this is evil. Definitely. I'm gonna identify it.
Okay. You identify
just
it.
looking at it, the spikes and the purple. And
Okay.
Yeah, you probably should have fucking known by looking at it.
idiot.
I'm not smart. I'm expressly unsmart.
It is after you ritually cast identify. There is a minor enchantment on it, but it's just to fortify the spikes. Other than that, no magic.
So is it fine?
Well, I don't know about that, but there's no magic associated with it.
Maybe you're just cursed.
Can you identify me?
Can I do that?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Kira, you do feel
I
like
think Kira just wanted to
very.
show off her new armor. She was lying.
You do feel like weirdly hungry.
Caesar salad.
Hey.
That's what we all do.
Doesn't seem to sate it.
Is it bloodlust, Kira? You hunger for human flesh? Oliver, no!
Do you actually cut your hand open and give her your blood?
I do like a little like prank. And I was like,
Flick blood into her
I
mouth.
do it like a coin. Like I drop it.
That's
And she's
disgusting. That's
fine
not how
with that?
blood works.
She's like,
Do you open your mouth or does it just splat
if
on
it
your
splats, does it?
He flicks some blood at you.
Why?
Lick your lips, Kira, lick your lips.
What are you guys doing to me?
Science,
face?
science.
We're trying to
Try
figure
it,
this
try it.
experiment.
Just lick your lips, Kira, lick your lips.
It tastes like blood.
You feel satiated?
No.
You probably have a
Really?
disease now.
You have a lot of disease.
Great. We're just gonna live like.
Get your tetanus shot.
We're just gonna live like that. Actually, I do. It's part of training.
Sorry, Kira.
I'm immunized.
State mandated
I got blood
vaccines.
Yes.
Imagine.
About to get political on here.
Oliver, are you an anti-vaxxer?
My dad is.
That's why he's a necromancer.
Are they
Because he's an anti-vaxxer!
If no one's dead, he can't bring them back.
It's true. No vaccinations.
Where's Erie? Are we
She's
all in
at-
one room?
Who?
I guess.
Sort of joined up. You had a couple rooms.
Who?
Erie's the person you hired. She works for the Brotherhood of the Earth and Fist.
Got it. I'm just trying to
gotcha.
rewrite my character sheet while I take
No
all
worries.
this
Is she with us?
No, she told you to meet her there at the
Let's go.
place you were yesterday.
Stop this. Stop this.
Should we go?
Huzzah!
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 All right,
Put my little backpack on.
and there you head. Cool. You make it over to this giant tavern with the stone fist to top it. Once more, and sure enough, Erie is waiting outside. She doesn't look. She's not dressed in the clothes she was before, but rather in sort of adventuring leathers. She has a short bow strapped to her back, and she seems just as unenthused as ever.
Erie.
Welcome.
Hey girl. What's up?
We ready to go?
I guess so.
Can I see?
Yes.
That's
Do we all
great.
have everything we need? Does anybody need anything?
Can I have some more salad?
Sure. What kind do you want?
Caesar salad. With chicken.
Is that hunger satiated yet? Or?
Very hungry.
Stop it.
Erie says, "All right. Well, we'll have to head on. We'll have to head over to the inner city transport station and go from there. It'll cost about 25 gold pieces to teleport to Hethus.
Per person?
Each or collectively?
Total.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Not that bad. And then we'll be on the border of Renarsia, and it'll take a couple weeks to get to this Battle Nest place.
Cool.
Good. All right. This way. And she leads you through the streets of Sithis, and once more, although it is earlier at this point than it was when you came in before, it's bustling. It's a really nice. It is a nice place to be. You get the sense that what you see is sort of just like the rich and very arcane influenced like upper class of Sithis around, upper middle class around. You don't really see any signs of poverty here, with the exception of the one boy who tried to pickpocket you before.
Or succeeded.
Well,
Not for me, no. That's right. I got one thing going for me.
Which is?
I can see pickpockets. Everything else is bad.
yeah, but yeah, you make your way through it. It's nice, and the floors are heated, even though it is slightly drizzling with rain. You make your way through the town, through some of these winding streets, until you come to one of those platforms that leads upwards. But instead of going upwards, you go down a spiral staircase into the ground. It's sort of difficult to get your horses down, but it seems to be built wide enough to get them down as well. Yeah, Heart is very nervous about going down these stairs.
Just go down backwards, you won't see it.
That's
Surprisingly fine. You get to the bottom and you see that there's like 8 of these teleportation circles around. She leads you over to one, has some words with the man in armor, in the guard armor of the Zymor Empire, who's standing there with a book. They exchange words and she says, "Alright, everyone step onto the circle. Well, pay your 25 gold.
Who's marking it off?
I will.
Amazing.
Everybody stand in the circle. We're gonna go to Hethus. It's a military fort, so be ready for some buff people, I guess."
You know, there's something called inflection that can really cause people to be more warm and opening to you.
Jazz up a sentence.
Good to know. Alright, standing. Do you guys...
Stand
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
And that the man encants a little bit, and the runes on the teleportation circle start to light up, and then that same sickening feeling of teleportation is Though, unlike normal teleportation, I need everybody to make a perception check for me real quick.
Natural 20.
Nice.
18.
12.
16.
9.
Anything from Deirdre?
Ah!
We have eyeballs, though.
Yeah. The two of you are really just taken aback by the
We're clutching each other.
by the
Looking at
sensation.
myself.
So the rest of you, however, you do see as you're going through, it seems to slow down in a way that teleportation doesn't usually. It feels more instantaneous, but you find yourself in this sort of like amorphous purple space, and it's just confusing. You look down and you don't quite see your bodies, but what you do see is a huge glowing entity. And when I say huge, I mean like dwarfing the giants that you fought in here. This glowing thing rapidly approaching you out of this distance, and you see these tendrils of glowing yellow light just sort of spread out from it in your direction. And then zoom, you find yourself on another teleportation circle with your horses and all your friends.
Did you see that?
Big
There
thing.
was a squid.
Glowy
What?
squid.
What?
There's
There
a glowing
was a
squid.
glowy squid
It had tendrils. It was
while we
coming
were
towards us.
teleporting.
Oh.
That was me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of Wallace.
No.
No.
There was
No,
like a
Wallace, hot blue man,
this
squid.
big gold squid.
Nods.
Does that happen?
None of you have ever experienced anything like this through teleportation before.
Yeah, I'm only.
You can make an Arcana check if you want.
Can I ask Eerie?
Eerie didn't seem to see anything.
Yeah, but it's describe
19.
and ask.
19. She goes,
Or there has to be somebody on the other side of the teleportation circle that, like,
Well,
right?
It's
No?
currently unmanned. You are in sort of a military base. There's a light rain going on. It is not warm here. It is quite a bit colder than it was in Sithis. It's raining and stuff, but yeah, there's nobody manning it. There seem to be people in like battle armor, sort of patrolling some parapets around, but nobody seems to be paying attention to you. Yeah, if you describe it to Eerie, she says, I don't. You must have been imagining things.
19.
But
With
guys,
your-
guys, there's something more important that we need to discuss. It's still raining, and I need to get my hair out of it. Can you go inside?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool.
There's a visit. There's sort of a
Center.
not a visitor center, but sort of a holding area we can go into. With your 19, they've been extinct for a while, like 10 to 12 years, but there were these entities that were created accidentally in Sithis. They say it was the result, or in Zymor, it was the result of some of their hubris of using teleportation. The excess magic from so much teleportation created these creatures called portal prowlers, which were these incredibly dangerous, like, collections of arcane energy that preyed on people as they were in the midst of teleportation, and there's very little you can do while you are being teleported to defend yourself against portal prowlers. Like, it's usually encountering one is death. They were hunted to near extinction by like those in Zymor, and they haven't been reported in quite a long time, but that does match the description of them.
20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, you know what? There are these deadly things called portal.
They were colloquially
Prowlers.
known as portal prowlers, yeah.
Wow.
Is that what the thing?
Yeah,
Did I see
probably.
it?
No. You saw glimpses of it, yeah, you just saw some cold light.
If,
And Eerie goes,
if I had to guess.
that's not possible, those are extinct.
Okay, well, we definitely
both
saw
of us
something.
saw it. Actually, 3 of us saw it.
Unless there's some sort of-
I saw something.
Tapper, back us up.
unless there's some
All
sort
right,
of-
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, and I also saw it.
Right, we all
Yeah.
saw it.
I'm not buying
Okay,
into
guys,
the herd
I think
mentality.
you're all just being weird.
Yeah.
I don't think anything is.
They're extinct.
They're extinct, I can't imagine.
Well,
Alright, well, we're
Maybe
not gonna
perhaps-
go teleport again, so it's not really our problem at the moment, is
Yeah.
it?
It's like the people that think the Megalodon is at the bottom of the
I'm
Marianas
filling out a
Trench.
report.
excuse me?
I'm filing an incident
What?
report. A sighting.
Yeah, a sighting of some sort of cryptid.
We're
Are
on
there
base.
cryptids in D&D, or is all
Or is it
monsters
just
Everything's
known?
a cryptid. Yeah, okay.
Bigfoot still, isn't
So
it?
yeah, you make your way into sort of this
Bigfoot
little,
owns a
it's a little
business.
holding area. There are people sort of milling about. They give you eyes, but you see that they see that you're with a member of the Fellowship, and they don't seem to pay you very much attention at all. And Eerie says, "Yeah, I mean, from here, if Battle Nest is where you've told me it is, it'll take 5 to 7 weeks to get there by horse."
5 to 7 weeks.
Why don't we just
Yeah.
teleport again?
Yeah.
Well,
Wallace.
I wish we could, but Carleone isn't as up to date as Zymor is. In fact, nowhere else is as up to date as Zymor is on our teleportation network. I mean, quoting hubris and the waste of energy and the amount of manpower it takes. They're just behind the times, I suppose.
Okay, I
Also
just need to
probably
stop
fear
you right
of
there.
the
Like,
squeak.
you were talking a lot, but with the lack of inflection, I lost interest. So, you really need to, like, up
That's
and down
funny
that
because I've
pitch.
lost interest in what you're saying as well.
Okay, we have 7 weeks on the road, so.
I'm just trying to help you with your public speaking.
I'm good. Public
No, you're
speaking.
not.
Public
She's
speaking
doing us
isn't
a
my
favor,
job.
Deirdre.
Can I ask a question why we
I'm
have to
doing
go
her
back to
favor.
Battle Nest because we've gone back twice to try to solve this?
Because
and
that's where that's the
Because you
influence.
hired me to track.
Okay.
Because it's where the plot is.
Okay.
Well, let's start walking, eh?
You have a
We
good
have
7
horses!
weeks.
Let's start riding.
Do you all have horses?
No.
I
Definitely
can't
not.
remember if Fabio
Fabio's alive.
has died or not. Okay.
He's alive.
Great.
I killed him, but it was unfair, so I brought him back to life.
Alright.
The other rift horse. Your horse is dead?
No, Lightning Hoof is here and beneath me.
Who?
I think
A
Lightning
horse
Hoof is
died.
dead.
It was
Peter's
Trapper's.
horse died.
Ah.
You can run.
I can't run for
Don't
that
make
long.
him run for 7 weeks.
What's a horse's speed?
50.
That
Just
happens
like-
to be
just
my
walking.
speed.
Well, it's still running.
That happens to be my walking speed.
Well, your max speed is a run speed because
How
it's
long?
how far you can go in 6 seconds, moving as fast
Right,
as
and
you
that's
can.
how fast a horse can go in 6 seconds.
Yeah,
So
but
can I
horses have more endurance than you.
I picked up Tapper and put him on my horse with me.
All right, then I'll do that.
Up.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, and you begin to ride. And the next.
Hello, Sierra. Please help me. I'm feeling very weird, and you showed up in my dream. Why is that? Oh, nothing? Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking the whole 7 weeks to this stag. Trying to
And when I was
bond.
10 years old, I went over.
Yeah.
10,900 bottles of beer on the wall. 10,900 bottles of beer.
And then when I was 12, Benny ignored me for a week because I told him that his hair didn't look good on one day. And then we weren't friends, and I just
You know when you're just sad and nobody really understands? Yeah, I know.
My hair is falling out.
Sometimes I
Your
wonder if
tentacles
that
are
is
falling
even
out?
real.
Yeah. Okay. So you spent the first 2 weeks pass rather uneventfully. You basically
Can
hunt
we
for
roll for
food.
bonding time?
Yeah. Sure.
Lightning Hoof and I are just silent.
How do we roll for bonding time? What does that mean?
Just roll it.
Animal handling?
What?
Animal
Oh,
handling.
or if you're trying to bond with your
Yeah.
horse,
Oh.
roll a charisma check.
Oh, I thought you meant with the
Roll charisma
party.
No,
Oh.
just you. The rest of
Yeah.
you just roll d20s.
I got a 2, so.
Yeah, I got a 9.
I got an 18.
15.
16.
19.
19. Deirdre's really, actually, maybe the most pleasant to travel with, which is incredibly surprising. As it is,
She's a
like,
conversationalist.
as it is gloomy and rainy, and like, you're in the middle of fall as it starts to edge towards winter. It's
Not the lowest.
not great.
Wallace.
Wallace got the lowest. Wallace is just trying to read any and everything
Well, shut
possible while on the horse, but out loud, because I think.
1 fish.
God.
3 fish.
No.
Wait. I have to start over.
You've been stuck on the same path for 4 weeks.
Let him
It's
figure it out,
hard.
Oliver. Let him figure it out.
You feel, though your stag is quite cold, you do feel it seems to be warming up to you, though it isn't saying anything to you.
Do you know why I feel weird?
It doesn't really respond. About 2 weeks pass.
Oh, can I also say I'm braiding my unicorn's hair?
Sure.
It's needed.
Your unicorn's into it.
2 weeks in, I think about the fact that maybe the newly divine person could help.
Cool. So as you reach, basically, it's a way
The
station
level
in.
swing cleric.
Level
He has
1,
one level
thank
clear.
you.
Or Deirdre, either one.
You get to a way station called the Horsehair.
That's you.
And it's like this little inn where travelers can stay for basically nothing. Run by a pretty jovial old dwarf. You go and you tie up your horses for the night, and you're free to sort of do whatever you want inside the inn.
Wallace, Deirdre.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes?
Okay, so I've been feeling kind of weird for the past
Okay, we get it. Come, grab my hand. I take
God.
Kira's hand, walk her outside to my unicorn, and I say, Unicorn, Kira's been talking so much about this. Can you help us out? And can you cast Detect Good and Evil on her?
The unicorn nods her head and casts Detect Evil. There is an evil presence around Kira, yes.
Cool, Kira's out of the group.
Okay, there's an evil presence.
Can you give me
around
the specifics on Detect Evil? Do you have that?
Violena.
I think it's funny that she thinks we're bad, but,
But
she's
evil. Let's burn her.
She's not evil.
I have it right
Burn
here.
the
She's
witch!
not evil.
So if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as a creature located, blah blah blah
Is Kira
blah.
haunted?
You can see if things been magically concentrated or desecrated. Yeah.
There is an item, within 30 feet of the elemental that has been magically desecrated.
Can it?
It can.
pinpoint it?
That's what we're doing.
It's the sword.
Just that table.
The sword, Kira, it's your sword.
What?
Where'd you get the sword?
Where did I get the sword?
The big bone sword.
You had that
It
already.
wasn't a bone sword at first.
You had that already in the beginning.
So it
of
wasn't a
the
bone sword at first, then it turned into a bone sword and you kept it.
It's
and
the
kept using it.
anima pillar, is it?
Yeah.
The anima pillar.
Enema?
The anime.
You know what you gotta do with it.
If it's an anima
If it's an anima pillar.
You're gonna take that sword. You're gonna put it
Right
right,
up your butt.
You guys, this is serious.
Nice hearing.
I am
Kira,
serious.
Kira, you like your sword?
No, it's a
I
bad
mean,
idea.
it is a. I mean, I thought it was a good sword, but now it is
Can you-
explicitly a bad
Can you
sword.
talk to it?
Talk to the soul.
Can you get rid of
I
it?
had a
Sword.
friend once who could talk to the sword.
I know my unicorn
Sword.
can dispel evil
What?
once
He
a
did.
day. Do you want it to be dispelled?
Yes.
Unicorn, can you do us a big favor and dispel this evil?
The unicorn says to you, dispelling the evil would destroy the sword.
Kira, it's gonna destroy that sword.
I have another one.
It's not a very evil sword. It just has evil
Listen.
tendencies.
Really?
We all
The
have evil
skeletons,
tendencies.
the,
I
like,
don't think we
bones
should
and things
punish
you
the
can give
sword
them.
just because it's a little bit evil.
Yeah, I take the dead away from their happy place and bring them back here. So
Evil in the hands of good is just kind of neutral, you know?
So that's
You
it.
guys, this is not making
Also, dispel evil doesn't work on objects.
Okay, so you're just gonna
Hold on to the evil sword.
maybe let's
Can you, like, get rid of it?
What
Or
if
will
you
it
just-
keep showing up if you
What
leave
if,
it
what if you just
somewhere?
like put it down?
I'm gonna take a cloth
Left.
and I'm just gonna wrap it up. In
The unicorn asks Deirdre, what does the sword do?
Kira, what does the sword do?
It is a +1 longsword.
But what does it do?
It absorbs the things she kills.
Well, I did that twice.
It also
and stopped.
can move something that I hit 20 feet away.
It absorbs the things she kills.
I related.
It's a soul
How does it absorb? What does it absorb?
Well,
What?
this
How
was
and
a
what? I have
skeleton.
not been paying attention.
What does it absorb?
That's
Their
right.
souls? Their essences?
I mean,
Wait,
it
Do you
was a
remember any
skeleton.
of this?
It was a skeleton.
Oh yes, we do.
Yeah, it was before
We're
we went
upstairs.
downstairs.
The skeleton and...
I hit the skeleton, and then the skeleton went like, and then the sword changed.
Have you killed anybody else with that sword?
Wasn't it the ghost too? Didn't you hit a ghost as well?
Yeah, maybe go kill someone in the barn. We can see what
I don't think it
I
works
would
that
not do
easily.
that.
Old.
I think she
No.
has to kill it a specific way.
I think it was a nat 20.
A what?
Like a really good hit.
Critical hit, you
And
mean?
has it absorbed anything in quite a while?
No.
Oh, do me.
None of you can hear this except for Deirdre.
Oh.
Oh.
This is a unicorn talking into her brain.
Yeah. Has it absorbed anything in a while?
Leave it
Do
to
me.
us.
Do me.
Wallace will do you next. Wait your turn.
Wait, no.
No, I wanna
no,
get
we're not
absorbed.
we're not absorbing Wallace into the sword.
No, we need Wallace.
Why not?
Because
We
you
like
take
you,
the general
Wallace.
attractiveness of this group way up.
That's super
true.
true. That's super true.
You can kill Lightning Hoof over there.
Don't
You
you
guys, I don't want
dare.
to kill
You
just
haven't
innocent
spoken to him in
things.
6
Get a tree.
weeks.
Get a tree.
We are those
I'm gonna,
kind
like,
of friends who
grab the
don't need to
sword
talk
from
to
her.
enjoy each other's company.
Oh,
Grab the sword from her.
One of
No.
those. Maybe.
that's
I'm not letting Wallace have an evil
I'm
sword.
assuming
I think this is a
hasn't
check.
absorbed anything in a while.
Let's put
I
heart
like
hearts
wrestle
in
it
the
to
sword.
like the ground so it like hits
Okay,
the ground
that's
so maybe it'll be.
Okay, opposing strength checks to see if you can do that.
I know I'm gonna lose.
Do you love anything?
Just to check, could it be athletics?
Yeah, that's fine. Athletics works.
13?
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't roll good. It's probably because I'm so ravenously hungry.
Boom. Feeling particularly weak. The sword gets out of your grasp.
I take the sword, I run to like a tree, and I just like hack into it.
You certainly hit a tree with this sword.
Do the squirrel! Do the squirrel!
No, that, oh god.
I don't wanna.
I'll do
Is
it.
there a bug around?
Don't you have magic? don't
It's like winter-ish, so there's not a lot of wildlife
you,
around.
can't you like
Do
Wallace.
the squirrel.
make animals?
Make that rodent in your hat and I'll hit it.
I'm
What
gonna
is this
take
gonna
out.
do?
You could hit Felix.
I'm gonna take out.
Actually, just
They're
kidding.
not like
I don't think
super
that's
real.
an animal.
I'm
is
gonna
it?
take
No,
out a
not
bat
Okay,
But that's
from
not
my
how that-
hat.
cool.
Squeak, squeak,
All right, roll.
It's like
You're
baseball.
not attuned to the sword, but you can roll without your proficiency. Or no, you just roll it as a normal longsword, so
Okay.
a longsword attack.
But I'm proficient with longsword or no?
You are.
So 17.
17. That'll hit. Roll the d8 of damage.
It's gotta be a natural 20 though. What is that though?
What?
D8.
Wallace isn't as good with swords as you are,
Well
Kira.
done.
No, I know, but it doesn't matter. Like it.
That's how phrasing
You
it.
slice the bat in half.
Oh, guys, come on.
Listen, we're trying to learn things.
It's sort of-
this is studying.
Poofs it away.
Because it's not like super real.
It's not super real.
Okay, well,
Hmm.
I guess this
So it's
doesn't.
hungry?
I guess it doesn't work anymore. Wait, what
It
are we doing?
hasn't
What
absorbed
are we
anything in a
doing
while,
here?
right?
We're standing outside an inn.
That was the last
Why don't we
question
go
of the
inside?
unicorn after
We
we
were
came
inside. We came outside.
What did you say, Michael?
Talk to the
That it
unicorn.
hasn't been absorbed anything in a while.
Yeah,
You've
it's
never answered
hungry.
that question.
Yeah, it hasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, the unicorn asked that.
Yes.
I never answered. Okay, cool.
You,
I was wondering
people
if
answered,
anything-
yeah.
What?
Well, the unicorn says, my only guess is that it's hungry, and the only source of life it has had access to in quite a while is its wielder.
This is mean.
Kira, it's hungry. It wants you to kill something with it, or it might just eat you. I don't
I've
know.
been trying.
What happens when you?
I've been trying to kill things, but Tapper always gets the last punch.
Tapper.
I don't know if that's true. I don't get the last hit. I get
Okay,
the first
next
hit.
time we
Right.
fight somebody, nobody kill it unless it's
I'll
Kira.
I'll
Okay,
stun them
everyone
and you
throw
get
hands
the
in.
easy
The next
kill.
time there's a battle, only Kira fights.
Only Kira fights.
Only
Right.
Kira
Only
Sounds
Kira
good.
fights. Yeah, alright.
Fix the problem.
That's right. It's
Let's
me
get
versus
through
that portal prowler. That's it.
That's it.
Little porter prowler sword, that'd be so cool.
That'd be
Portal
dope
prowler,
as hell.
portal
We
prowler.
bump into a tower.
Too bad they're
Porter prowler,
extinct.
porter prowler, porter prowler.
Portal prowler.
Into the inn, I guess.
Cool. You head on in.
I'm taking my sword back.
Give me that sword really quick.
Fuck you.
Kill someone in the end. And then we can...
No.
It's a very.
Yeah, it's very sparsely populated.
See, we could do it without anybody seeing. It's very.
Oh my god.
No, you want to do it in a crowded place. A crowded place.
Why? Good attention.
Because then they don't know who did
They
it.
don't know who did it.
Well, yeah, but alright.
Like, you guys have
You
never
are
killed
bad
anyone in
people.
before.
You're evil.
You're literally evil.
The dwarf says, welcome to the Horsehair. Weary travelers. I assume you want a place to stay and some grub?
Yeah.
Why is it called the horsehair?
I don't know. That's what my dad called it, so that's what I call it too.
You're here.
What's your dad's name?
Well, his name was Eobard.
Boulevard.
Oh, I totally thought you were gonna say horsehair.
No, that would have been funny though.
Do you have anything to drink around here?
Yeah, we have a whole shipment of Wolf's Tooth Ale.
Great. Super.
Yeah, and some food. We don't have a menu, so to speak, but I'll go whip something up for you. There's some other people here. Feel free to converse.
Maybe like a pot pie or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Turns around and goes through a little door. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 other people here, all looking like travelers or mercenaries. All looking like they could probably hold their own in a fight, and that's why they're traveling the untamed countryside of this country.
Let's see. Hey, travelers, is there anyone here who we don't like?
No.
I mean, yeah, it should be worth noting that a lot of like the world is sort of mapped out into cities and stuff, but like between cities, there's not a whole lot of known about what goes on, particularly in Zymor and Renarcia, because there's such big cities there. So like you're kind of out in the middle of fucking nowhere. There could be anything out here. So in order to travel through these areas, you either have to have somebody who can fight or be able to fight yourself.
Last time I bought this armor and you told me that it could do something that was, quote, a claw strike, but never told me how or what that
It's
was.
just a melee attack you're proficient with.
This is my hair.
So D20 plus your proficiency modifier.
What's the damage on it?
Yeah.
It's a D6 of slashing damage.
That seems not great for you.
No. Why would I ever do that?
Because it's
Well, if
cursed!
you lose your swords.
Is that?
I have.
I want to take a seat at a table with someone.
Okay, you take a seat. There's 2.
Date someone in this inn.
There's a rough-looking human woman, and an elven man, sort of sitting, talking in sort of low voices. And as you sit down,
next to them.
yeah, as the 2 of you sit down, you hear the woman saying, "Yeah, and with the Maida still under siege, I mean, it's a wonder anything's going right in this damn world."
Isn't it?
Hello?
Wait.
Hi, my name's Deirdre.
And I'm Oliver.
The opponent
Good to
of
meet you.
Meta under siege, you said?
What's your name?
I'm not really. I don't know you. Feel like telling you my name right
I know,
off the
isn't
bat.
that great? I've been with these people for weeks now, and it's so nice to talk to other people.
Listen.
And the elven man says, "I'm sorry. In times like these, it does well to not be trusting of people you don't know."
Yes, well, you said the current Graveta is under siege?
Yes, had you not heard?
No.
No,
No.
actually.
Well, yes. On the second day of the Meta, an army appeared, out of thin air almost, and began to attack the Konagar Meta. Luckily, it seems as though no one's really been killed, as many members of the Extant Sortilegium and quite a few of the Silver Citadel are there.
What if we start feeling security detail?
We were.
Yeah,
No.
Unfortunately, what would normally be an easy task, though there are 3 ancient dragons in the mix, for these powerful people, every time they kill a foe, another version of it just appears.
It's like the White Walkers.
No, that's
Cerebrosus.
that's some Cerebrosus shit going on.
Basically, every leader in this...
Hi, I'm Wallace.
Hello. Basically, every leader in the world right now, well, in this continent at least, are all being attacked by an army, which is bad.
We sail for Carth. Let's go.
Let's do
What
it.
do you say? We all invest in stocks and we get out of here.
Go to New York City. Wall Street.
Yuri seems, her interest, believe it or not, seems to be piqued, and she says, "What? That can't people teleport out? Can't they just like? Wouldn't that make the most sense?" And the human woman says, "Well, yeah, but the two people who tried did not come out the other side, so."
The prowler.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now
The what?
they're
The what?
real.
Deal with your evil self.
I'm good.
I'm sorry that we had to be the ones to, break this news to you, but
That's okay.
it seems like the world's gone to shit.
Seems like it.
At least we're in the middle of nowhere where none of that can get to us.
Where are you off to?
We're staying here.
Forever?
Well, until this all blows over.
That's not a great attitude to have.
Maybe you should join us.
You think you can kill ancient dragons? I mean, I know I sure can't.
My
I think we
parents
could
can.
try.
But they haven't.
But then the ancient
so-
dragon gets back up.
And they knock it down again.
And then they gets back up. Yeah,
And then
this
they
isn't gonna go anywhere.
We got a Carth.
And the elven man says, and it's not safe going east either because of the vampire civil war happening.
Oh, vampires are
Right,
fine.
we
vampires
know
are
all
fine.
about the
She is a
Yes.
vampire.
I'm not.
I should
We
say
got-
not, it is daytime.
Listen, we got a good buddy who's a vampire. It's
Yeah,
not
he's
anything
fine.
Your
you
friend
can
is a
worry about.
vampire?
Yeah, he's
It's
very
very
What's
interesting.
his name again?
What's your name? You sound familiar.
Smile a little bit though. Okay.
I assure you, I'm not a vampire, nor am I
No, but your voice
an
sounds
imposter.
familiar. Were you in a tournament
Many,
somewhere?
many people have voices like me.
Do you ever know a bard?
The whole world kind of sounds familiar.
Wait a minute.
The dwarf comes back out and he says, "Oh, I see you've made friends." And he brings out just a bunch of chicken, puts it all out in front of you guys.
Thank you so much.
Chicken and corn
Corn.
on the cob.
Mm.
Yes, if you need a place to wait out the storm, the horsehair is as good as any. And here he says, we have a job to complete in Battle Nest, so.
Wait!
Oh, that's quite a distance
Wow,
away.
wow.
Huh?
We're
That's
going
where we're
to
going.
battle now.
Are you gonna
Yuri's
finish this?
expressly with
I'm
They're
us
with
you.
us. She's with us, I think.
already.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, I thought it was the other one.
You hired me to go.
No, hey.
I'm the ravenous one.
See, there's that evil coming out.
Evil.
Regardless, the two talk to you for a little bit longer, but then they retire to their rooms for the night. Yuri does the same. I don't know if you guys want to do anything before sleep.
I could go talk to Oliver.
Sorry, what?
Gonna
Yeah,
talk to Oliver.
I retire with a glass of wine, not to my room, but to a single table.
Well,
And
that's
Millie
a look.
joins you.
So I'm a little worried.
Really?
Oliver, I'm a little worried.
About what?
Karth. And my parents.
Oh, well. Okay.
Don't tell the others I said that. I just had to express myself to someone. And I know you have loose lips, so everybody else will probably know. And now I'm considering everything that I've just done.
I'm already preparing a sending spell. Your parents are in Carth?
Karth.
You said Carth. You said you were worried about Carth. It's where we wanted to go, remember?
Oh yeah.
Cunning Armada is in Skembra.
They're in Skembra. They're in
Oh.
Skembra.
Well, listen. They're probably fine, they're heroes and all that. Perhaps we should go lend a hand, but... Yeah.
All of our hands are worth less than one of theirs.
If your parents
so-
died, would you be sad?
Yeah.
Cool. Me too.
Cool.
As would many in this world.
Love my parents.
Well, listen, I mean, I say we go see what's going on in Battle Nest, and then we go deal with it if this becomes a serious problem, but...
Yeah.
I think they'll be able to take care of themselves, and if worst comes to worst, we can lend a hand and die at their side.
That's all I ever wanted. That was a joke. That was a really morbid joke.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. That was...
I didn't really react to it because I didn't know if it was like a...
No, it was a joke. Alright.
Love these awkward
Are you okay, by the way?
Yeah?
You've been different since you came back.
Yeah. You know, that happens
Yeah.
when you know,
Mm-hmm.
have to have handcuffs on because you're in looked at, you know. Yeah.
You think they're still there, by the way?
Yeah.
Hello.
They've been there my whole life now. It's just like really present.
Right. Have you ever considered putting like an eye patch on or something?
Yeah, but they told me not to.
Okay.
And
What's
I'm
the
worried.
worst that's gonna happen? Like, they come attack, we defend you. Usually get out of the situation. We killed a snake, remember?
Yeah.
Sounds even less impressive than it was.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me just thinks that, like, you know, like, put an eye patch on it, and then all of a sudden I hear, like, a ticking, and then
Right,
it
your
explodes, and then
whole
we
body
all die.
explodes.
Yeah.
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 Okay, well.
Yeah, I just wanted to express my concerns to someone. Good night. I salute with my handcuffed hands.
Oh yeah, your hands are still handcuffed.
Yeah.
Have they been handcuffed for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm riding my horse like this.
I'm learning so much.
Anything anybody else wants to do before bed?
Deirdre was feeling really trapped traveling with all the same people, so she was talking ear off to the barkeep the entire time and getting very, very drunk.
Good.
And so now she's just like, do you think it's easy to travel in this dress all the time? Let me tell you, it's not.
You should like
It's not.
modify it, make it easier to travel in.
Yeah, you should. And with these heels? Oh, where's my heels?
You put them on the bar. You put them on the bar.
Ow! Thank you so much. This has been the best night in a while.
I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear that you're enjoying your time at the Horsehair.
The horsehair. Why did they call it that?
Because my dad called it that.
I know. It's not made of horsehair.
I hope not.
God, I have a headache.
It's time for bed then, yeah?
But also, let me tell you.
Okay.
My cup is empty.
Here's some more.
I haven't been around such a nice person in so long. So now I'm just following this god, and like, they're not even like a god that anyone knows, so it's not even cool. And he just wants me to be like his messenger, and I'm just like how? You don't even have a PR team, you know?
I think that makes you the PR team then, huh?
Yeah. I don't know how to do that. And not a lot of people like me. Let me tell you.
And we seem very likable. All right, I think that'll be the last one for the night, young lady.
Yay!
Time for bed? He beckons Tapper over. Hey, you're with her, yeah?
Oh no. Yeah, alright.
Deal with that.
Come on, Deirdre. Come on. We're gonna.
Smell bad.
You do too, to be honest. You smell like wolf's tooth.
Are Wallace and Kira doing anything before bed, or just Betty by? Yep, Wallace is passed out. And so is Kira. Cool. Next morning you wake up, Eerie says, alright, well, that's the most substantial rest we're going to be getting for the next couple of weeks, so hopefully you like that. Alright, let's do it. Go to Battle Nest. Woo.
Huzzah!
Can you sending to Benny?
We're what?
What?
He's there.
Oh shit.
He is?
Yeah.
In Belvest?
No.
Oh, I
In
couldn't go later.
Skembra.
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry.
You know, it seems like, and I'm just throwing this out here, but all of the important people in our backstories are in one convenient place during the final episode of the
Yeah, I
campaign.
can.
Not everybody.
Can you give me sort of a description of him?
He's a very nice boy.
Yeah, physical description. I need so.
So he is about 5'10",
Okay.
He has some sandy light brown hair. He would be wearing the same armor I wore. He's the captain of the guard.
Right.
He's a very beautiful, wide smile. Some green eyeballs.
Okay.
You know. Anything else?
And
One of his ears is a little higher than the other.
Good.
The
That's
right
good.
one.
That's good. And
He has a scar on the back of his right
what's his
hand.
race?
He's a human.
Okay. Cool.
I'm drawing him as she describes him.
Do you have that portrait ready?
Is it like this?
No, it's
Not great.
And what do you want to say?
Like
You
this.
have 25 words. It's a tweet.
It's Kira. Are you okay? What's going on over there? Do you need help?
Question mark on that?
Yeah, does that count as a word?
It will.
Oh, how am I doing? Are you okay? You need help. What is
Say,
Love Kira.
Yes.
Send.
That's it. That's the one.
And you cast a spell, you send it.
Okay, I hope that went to him.
Me
Do
too.
you, is there any way to know that if it like?
He can respond.
Yeah, he can respond to the spell. When he does,
And
I'll let
as
you know.
such, you hear a voice in your head
Oh.
that says, "Don't come. Stay safe."
Yeah, he says, "Don't come. Stay safe."
He didn't answer any of my questions.
he didn't even say love Benny.
Love
No.
Benny.
Oh no, he said love. He said
Oh
love.
fuck, no, he had a nickname for you. Never mind. doesn't
Kiki?
Kiki.
Kiki, do you love me? That's the end. Sorry, that's all we can do.
Don't want to
Tommy, right?
Oh no, yeah, he said, "Stay safe, Tarask toes. Don't come."
Yeah, Tarask toes. I don't
Yeah.
know what that means.
Trask
That's
is like a really scary
oh.
big creature. It's the hardest creature in the world to fight.
Is he saying that
So he
Kira has
called you
big
after a
feet?
creature. Yeah.
I think
Well, it's a nickname that he had for Kira when they were young because she's very loud when she walks.
That's why I wear my armor. That way you can't tell.
Even without armor, you're very
Yeah,
clomp, clomp, clomp.
I'm a clomper. But I asked him.
He said,
That's
"Don't
all- that's all
come,
he
stay
says.
safe." Yeah, but he also doesn't know like how badass you've gotten, and how
But if the
clearly better than him
situation-
you are.
If the situation there is really bad,
Also, we have to go to.
then that's.
We're still riding.
Yeah, you're currently riding to Battle Nest.
Why are we
I
going
know,
to
but
Battle
I'm
Nest
saying,
again?
We have to
Just
go to Battle
said
Nest
2
to
weeks
go
ago.
to other place.
It's the clone situation, but that seems like a lot
You
of
went to Sithis to hire somebody to track the clones. The last place you saw the clones was in Battle Nest.
But we also know that they're at the Congar Mansion.
Well, some of them are.
Oh god.
There's clones everywhere.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
They've been popping up basically all over the world.
Attack of the Clones.
Hire me, George Lucas.
He's not
He doesn't know
involved.
Lucasfilm.
No, I'll just rewrite Attack of the Clones.
How? It's already perfect.
Dude, it's still just clomping along.
Alright.
Yeah, you have about 4 or 5-ish weeks till you get to Battle Nest if there's anything.
4 or 5
God.
I really
What do
don't
we
feel
do?
good about this.
9,800,000 bottles. Veil on the
Can I
veil.
try to bond with my stag
You
again?
can
Oliver?
continue to do that, yeah.
Do I have to roll?
No,
or
it's
is
not.
it
You
fine?
send a message to my parents.
Can we work on our cardio
Sure.
every night?
What would you like to say? Can we
Of
get a
course.
physical description? Just
You know the physical.
Alright, will you send it to my dad? Hi, Dad. It's Millie. I'm alive. How are things? Are you guys okay? Attack of the Clones, right? Do you need me? Love, Millie.
Goes away,
It's
and
different.
almost instantaneously, you get a message back that says,
Okay.
"Thanks so much for reaching out. We really appreciate your patronage, and we'll make sure somebody contacts you very soon."
Yeah, I gotta bounce back.
Damn it! Fuck. Okay.
Stay strong.
That
Can
sounds
you
like him.
message the prince?
Oh my god, okay.
No, he's cut.
Can
you want
you
a
message?
fireball? You want
Yeah,
a
it's gonna
what
burn
do you
him
want?
through the spell slot.
Well, I
We
mean,
got
we have
days.
4 weeks.
We
Like,
have days.
Can you
Tapper.
message Kira?
Listen,
I want to tell her
How
that.
do we know he doesn't have a
I
random
like her
encounter
shoes.
table over there just ready for
We
us?
don't know.
Like a physical description.
I don't like that binder.
You've seen him.
it's potato champion on it.
You just got
Why?
a message that says I like your shoes.
From Wallace. Oliver.
I'm like airdropping something.
Can you tell Wallace
No, he's on a spell slot.
that
No, now I can't. Next day. What?
next? No. Can you message the prince and ask?
Are we sleeping in between like
Yeah.
these days? Okay.
Clearly.
Can you message the prince and say, "Hi, it's Kira. What's going on? How can we help?"
He does this. He doesn't need to do this, but he does
Sounds
do
like
it.
And none of us understand what it
What it
is.
You do.
Play
And
piano.
fairly quickly,
Yeah.
you get a response back. You get a response back that says, "Ah, your voice is lower than I remember. It's bad here. It's very bad. Please help."
It's all over LOL.
2 slots.
Are you spending 2 slots for that?
No.
Will
Yeah.
will
He
you-
says it's really bad. Then it's really bad.
Will you
Okay,
will you
so
guys consider going there?
we're already
We're already we're
at Petal Nest.
Well, hang on. How long would it take for us to get there?
Can I be honest about something?
Yeah.
I don't really want to go and face dragons and die.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with you there.
Like
right,
no,
it sounds a
we've
little.
been together for a while, but I don't know if this is a big step to
I
tell
don't-
me to
I
go
don't-
fight.
Right, I don't know if we've been together like
ancient
dragon
dragons.
long.
Yeah, that's
Sky Dragon?
That was
That's
that was a snake.
situational. That's a
Serpent?
situational
And
encounter.
Situational encounter.
And we
Got
don't
lucky.
And
have
we're already 7 weeks in to the trip.
And this shit's
You
You
can-
can,
Petal
okay,
Nest.
so I mean, in a sense, you started around here-ish. You're trying to get about here. The Cunning Armada is taking place up on there.
so
Oh, it's
literally all we have
across
to
an
do
ocean?
is turn
Up
right.
there?
It's sort of a channel, yeah.
It's across the channel.
So
be
basically,
an issue.
you're
Yeah.
riding this
I can't
direction
run
right
that
now.
far.
You could turn up into Skembra and go across. You do know that Skembra is not open to anybody. Like it's they're a closed country pretty much. They don't like people from the south coming up into them. The only exception is they open one road for the Conan Garmeta every year.
Gee, I doubt that'd be open right now.
Might not be.
I'm just kind of like, why would we go there?
I'm kind of like that. This is personal. This is personal. They
Right, and also, I
us.
mean, yeah,
Not
They
legal-
could very
legal
well
interest
be
at all.
take
no
it out.
longer in Battle Nest when it takes 7 weeks to get there. And all the clones are attacking the Conan Garmada.
Right.
Well, then we go. We cross the ocean and go somewhere
Will you
else.
send a message to Averth? We might not have to cross the ocean.
Why
Yes,
did we
ma'am.
ask him before?
Nobody asked me.
Hey, Ava.
Can you get to us? We need fast transport
ASAP.
of Oliver and the rest of
Love Oliver
the salad
and
bowlers.
the crew.
Did he die at the Conan Garmada?
I haven't received the message. It's been like 2 seconds, so he's probably just waiting on it.
Nero.
Oh my
Nero.
God, okay.
Nero.
This is over the course of several days.
Yes.
For the sake of your spell slots, we'll say.
Hey, Nero. We need fast transport. Heard about Conan Garmeta. Conan Garmeta, one word?
It's 2.
Garmeta.
Tell him I say hi.
Deirdre said.
Family, Deirdre, family!
Can't reach Averth.
Can't reach Ava.
What's up?
Also, how's it going? I miss you. Love, Oliver.
For fuck's sake.
Yes.
Just sending messages? Please, either help or don't. Averth is busy.
See, the thing is, we would help, but we move slowly. Send.
as slowly as I do, there's nothing I can do for you. Just stay out of trouble. Stay alive. Hi, Deirdre.
Deirdre, he said hi. He said hi.
Deirdre, he has a wife and family.
Who think he's dead?
I don't care. When I'm the moral compass, you know it's fucked up.
Compass.
You're not the moral
Compass.
Compass?
Compass!
Compass.
Compass!
During all of
Compass.
this trip,
Compass!
during this
Not
whole trip,
compass,
whenever we
compass.
stop to eat
Don't
and
correct
sleep,
my
I
language.
would like to try to hunt
I can
something
read
with
that.
my
Okay,
sword.
I'll correct your language all I want.
Okay, roll 3 attack rolls.
What are you doing?
Trying to feed my sword. 19. 5.
Wait, isn't that a crit for you?
Nat 20.
Whoa,
Whoa.
dude.
It is not a crit.
Oh.
I didn't take
Not a champion.
Champion. Got it.
Unfortunately, the squirrel rolled a natural 20 on its fortitude save. I'm not even kidding.
Dude, that's a.
The squirrel catches the squirrel.
Squirrel's still dead. It just doesn't get absorbed. I'm sorry.
You
That's
gotta
how
kill
the dice
another
roll.
one.
Squirrel sword.
Yeah, do you really want a squirrel sword?
Yes!
Yeah, it's so
Whenever I turn it into a different thing, it doesn't change what it does.
It does change what it does.
It hasn't
Yes,
yet.
it has.
You've only killed 2 things with it.
That's fair. No, I've helped kill things. And I've killed them, it's just not a natural 20.
You feel the squirrel almost get absorbed, but then it doesn't.
Squirrel sword.
You can continue to hunt as you go
Yeah.
along. I'll give you 4 more attack rolls for the rest of the travel.
Natural 20.
This deer rolled a 7. So
Deer sword, deer sword. Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
absorbs up
Deer sword,
into
deer
the
sword.
sword. And as it does so, it seems to change and morph until it is, you feel just sort of a wooden something in your hand. You look down and you have this wooden trident decorated with sort of skins and furs all around it, wrapped around it. The edges seem to be bear teeth. And yeah, that's what your sword
Does it
has
still
become.
work like a sword?
It works like a spear now.
Which I'm proficient.
Yeah.
Okay, does it have a different reach?
Yeah.
throw it.
It's throwing and it has long reach. You can get 10 feet away with it.
Okay, cool.
And you assume it probably has some sort of magical property that you'd have to.
You got a deer sword, you ride a stag.
Hey!
I
Druid
should be a
thing
druid.
You do, at this point, with the exception of the fucking evil-looking armor, you do have a druid vibe going.
You hear that, Wallace?
What? I'm not enough of a druid for you.
You're Jesus freak.
Take a look.
Yeah, if you want to have Oliver identify it, I'm sure the
ID! Please. I love you.
identify it. It is still called the Anima Pillar. That hasn't changed. It still has most of the same properties, though instead of the thing where it can move creatures, it allows you to speak with animals at will.
I talked to my stag.
Your stag is not an animal, but you can cast it and try it if you want.
We already did that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Try it, try it.
So.
Hey, heart.
Hey,
How are you doing?
it's cold.
Oh. Are you happy?
Huh?
Happy?
Happy.
Sad.
Sad.
Are you trying to talk to Hot Hot?
I am talking to my heart.
We're just watching Kira like,
She's a horse girl now. She's really a horse girl.
I've always been a horse girl.
You don't think you can get a whole lot out of Heart.
Okay.
Sounds stupid.
Okay. Well, at least my sword is not trying to eat me anymore.
Yeah, you don't feel hungry anymore.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So you continue as the weeks pass, unless there's any other pressing matters that need to be taken care of.
I'm also practicing my cartwheel.
It probably smells. So
Right, I'm
good.
trying to teach her how to cartwheel.
It is raining most of the
In
time.
full
that's
plate
cool.
armor.
And as you get closer and closer to Battlemist, it's getting drearier and rainier and colder as you go. It's like winter is on its way.
Why does Bezelness suck so hard?
The less cool the car star slogan. Winter is on its way.
Oliver,
It's getting cold.
Yes.
will you send one more message, please? To my brother Max. Hi, Max.
Just physical description.
Physical description. Okay, so like he looks like me, but like he's like 6 feet tall instead of like 5 feet tall. And
This is the bureaucrat or the adventurer?
he's the bureaucrat. He's the adventurer. Max is the adventurer. He's like really broad-shouldered. Basically same general features.
Looks like that.
He looks like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Will you say, "Hi, Max. It's Millie. Are Mom and Dad okay? Let me know. Please. Thanks. Bye."
What the fuck? Don't send some dude in my head. Mom and Dad are fine. They're legends. Calm down. You're the one they're worried about. Get a life, dude.
Yeah.
Get alive.
That sounds. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Thanks for trying.
Cool.
Cool. And you do.
I have a scarf. I have a scarf now. I'm updating something. You know, like Danny got her like winter clothes this season.
Now you have a scarf.
I have a scarf.
It's not the only thing she got this season.
God.
Some bad character development.
Bad writing.
Cool. You make it to Battle Nest. It's been quite a while. It's pretty cold. It's not great out. But you do notice that as you've arrived, the town seems to be a town again. There are actually sort of like candles strung up through the town. It's kind of from the hill looking down where before was just a horrifying nightmarescape when the first time you came to Battle Nest. It's like kind of a nice little wintry village.
Hey,
Oh.
since
Yeah, I don't trust that.
since we're coming into town again, does anyone remember the first time we were here? There was
Little baby?
no, not the baby. There's an old man with like I want to say with a banjo, but that might be wrong. And he was a ghost, and he vanished,
And he was hanging from that
and
tree.
he had no significance. Like, did we ever talk to him again? Did he cause the Like, I don't. Who was
I
that?
definitely thought that was a devil.
Right, I
That's
thought he
also-
was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, if he comes back this episode, that's some good writing.
I mean, I'm curious.
I do remember that. I think about him a lot.
I saw him, and I thought,
Whatever it
oh,
was,
this
fine.
guy.
He's not hanging in the tree anymore.
Oh, yeah, no, there's no dead body
There's
hanging
no
in
corpse
the tree.
hanging in the tree anymore. Yeah.
Did he have a banjo, or am I insane?
I don't
I
remember.
feel
I
like
feel like
he
he
was
spiritually
had
had
a
a
banjo. Give off banjo.
I just remember that little dragon and that little gnome.
What dragon?
The dragon.
The
ball.
Oh, the
babies.
dragon one, yes.
The little babies.
Right.
That gnome that was like this big.
I hate that.
Now's your time to do your stuff.
Okay, where were they seen last?
Oh, let's go. Right there.
You go down. Where do you take her?
To
To
this
to
door.
Brandon's house.
Brandon's house.
All right. This is the last place anyone saw them.
Yeah.
Right, in the front room.
This room.
There's one of the windows.
Oh, are we in the front room?
Yeah, you're in the room.
Yeah, in this room.
Inside this room.
Right.
Where did anybody see
Literally
where they
right
went
here
from
was
here?
where
They went.
This is where
They
this
did.
spot exactly is where
What?
they went.
She got eaten.
Oh, we're looking for. I thought you were looking for the clones.
Oh.
Oh no! The clones, they ran into building next door.
Building. That's right.
Perfect. Well, I'll look over there. Do you have anything that belonged to these clones?
Yes, that banged up shield.
This will be helpful. Thank you. All right. She starts looking over it.
Do your stuff.
What should we talk about?
This
in the
isn't
meantime?
real.
Hmm?
Like it. She like bangs on it. She. This seems real, but this isn't made of natural substances.
It's like an illusion. Like
Yeah, but a solid one.
A really good one.
Yeah.
What is it made out of?
I've never seen anything like it
Sand
before.
dreams.
But it's not
Oops.
quite real. It doesn't
Just
carry
like-
the same. I mean, and she sort of beckons you over to a candle, and she holds it up in front of the candle, and it doesn't cast a shadow.
Interesting.
Clones don't cast shadows.
This just
We
in.
should probably.
Send a message to everyone.
I love this.
It's a
This and then like
semantic?
create like a,
No,
I'm
what
imagining
is
creating.
Somatic.
That's the somatic
moment.
motion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the somatic moment for.
And then you make
So
a
when I pull
keyboard.
like this, I'm pulling a keyboard out. Yeah.
I like to imagine like a Tony Stark hologram
Yeah,
keyboard.
exactly.
But none of us know why it's there.
Yeah.
That's not real. Only Oliver can see it. He's just doing it for himself. Okay. What am I saying to everyone?
Clones don't cast shadows. This just in.
Can I send to more than one person?
In case
It
you
would,
don't
it would take
already-
multiple slots.
Okay.
In
You're,
case
you're full on slots though because you slept the night before.
Send it to someone who knows a lot of people.
Yeah, that's
In
good.
Send it
case
to the prince.
and hit him with that, in case you haven't already figured it out. Because we might be way behind on this
Right.
because it's been like 2 months.
In case you don't already know, clones can't cast shadows.
Tell everyone.
Tell everyone in all caps. It's like tell everyone. And then, and I guess that's it.
Love Ollie and crew.
Love Oliver and the crew. Good luck to you.
Thank God. They've been infiltrating our ranks. We've had quite a few casualties because of that. This is incredible help. Hopefully we'll be able to save the ones that have been hurt, but this will help us in the future. Those who have gone down will...
Oh, 25 minutes.
Nobody told them about the 25 words.
Yeah, so it seems that we
Okay.
helped.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, good. All right, that's good.
Wash
Should we
my
also
hands.
send
Do
one?
your stuff.
Should I send one also to perhaps to Averth or to somebody else in another?
They're all together, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so. Okay,
the prince.
Hopefully.
cool.
You were told Averth was staying in the tower with
What about Diego?
We probably
Perhaps
can't
I
get
should
to him
Tell
magically.
Diego, he's one of the most
Well,
powerful
we might not
people
be
in
able
the
to
world.
reach them with magic. They're probably protected if they're in their tower.
I feel like they could let it in if they needed it.
Look, I kind
It's
of
just
think
sending.
I kind of think they also know us and they know where we are and what we're doing, and
They could be watching.
they might probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I feel like they'd be watching the more important thing.
Yeah, but I
They
feel
have
like if
2 eyeballs.
I'm gonna send Diego a message and just say similar to him.
You don't get a response either.
You don't.
Didn't.
We all have 2 eyeballs. Except you.
Okay.
I have 2 eyeballs.
Now that we know that, what
Yeah.
else do we do?
One's blue, one's brown.
Erie at this point has put the thing down and she's
Seems
walked
fake.
to the building that you pointed her in the direction of and entered it.
I'm following her.
We should
Cool.
follow her.
It's still abandoned. Nobody seems to be living in this one, and she's just sort of walking around, looking around the place. She said, "This is the place they went in here and they
Yeah.
weren't found."
Right. Wasn't there somebody here in the city who did, like, see them? Who we
Yeah,
talked to?
it was Brandon.
No, that's right.
Well, we don't need them. And she goes over to a piece of wood on the ground and flips it upwards. And it seems as though there is a hole dug beneath the ground.
Oh,
Let's go, let's
shit.
go, let's go, let's go, let's go, kids.
It's like you're like all struggling to fit into it. Like you have to sort of like break it open a little bit. She says, "Yeah, these clones must have been much skinnier than most of us." So
Or they're not actually made of real matter.
Right.
is it-
When,
I can
whenever,
get small and go down there.
How
Yeah.
small?
well, we
also-
can fit in. We can squeeze.
We could send Felix if we wanted. How
That
small
might be a
is
good
the hole?
idea to send a scout.
Do it.
I
Kira.
can go.
Is the
Let me have
No.
this.
The whole we could.
Not till we go down if we're sending a scout.
Oh, yeah.
If we sort of stripped down to our skivvies, we could probably fit in here.
That's my whole
There might be
thing.
one-
I already am.
We can we can bring it down with us. I'm sure it opens up.
I think it might be a good idea to send a scout.
Yep.
But perhaps we should send somebody who's actually capable.
After you.
I'm gonna turn into a badger.
Badgers in Battle Nest, round 2.
Round 2, baby.
Does anyone own an eye patch?
Actually.
I'm a badger and
Oh,
I'm.
yeah.
Yeah, you
So
could
you-
have asked me a while ago.
I could've.
Wait, I just gotta get my
Um,
badger stats up.
well-
Badger 5e stats. Giant badger.
Click the cure of birth banner. So sorry.
Okay, I'm in the hole. What's going on? I'm in the
How
hole.
do I look?
Please tell me you tied it so it just says Kira.
It does.
It says Kira Cosmic.
Cure, like, yeah.
So you dig
Let's
down
skip
to the
Kara.
hole and you dig down. It goes sort of down at a slight slope.
Thanks,
So,
Chapter.
like someone could slide down it fairly
Smell anything?
easily. Make a perception check
My
with
badger.
your smell.
Did you not want to do that?
What?
Did you not want to do that?
Yeah, but if I'm gonna take the handcuffs off,
Advantage
we
on.
gotta do something.
Oh, I get advantage on perception.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Exactly.
And I got an 11 for both, so that's cute. How does. That's a 12.
12. Yeah, you it smells familiar, though not specific in any way. Like you recognize the smell, but not sure where from. And as you keep going down, it sort of twists down and around and goes back the other direction. in the direction you assume that Brandon's house, you can equate Brandon's house being.
What was the hole that I dug?
Yeah, well, this is the hole that exists. That I assumed you were just going down into the hole that already exists.
Yeah, but I dug a hole like a long time ago in Battle Nest.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's not that one. But you go down. It keeps going down. It keeps going down, and then it seems the floor in front of you. You stop as the floor just opens up into a hole.
Do I see anything down there?
You look down and you see a familiar sight. It's. You remember before? Well, you don't remember this. There seems to be a sort of open area that looks sort of like a study with sort of shattered glass all across it.
Is anyone in there?
It doesn't look like it, no.
Can I smell again?
Yeah.
14.
14. You remember this place from the last time you were in Battle Nest when you explored through this place the second time, but the first time in your memory? This is the Illithian chamber underground.
Oh, so we're in like the Illithian.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back up.
Cool. The badger returns.
The hole leads to the Illithian chamber that we saw. Wait, do I know what it is?
They told us.
Yeah, and you also you explored it last time you were here.
Yeah, that hole leads to the Illithian chamber that we saw before, which is interesting. But yeah, it led to the floor just sort of, the hole just sort of evaporated, and there was just the study with all of the glass in it, and that's where it led.
Could get in just that way instead of crawling through a hole.
I mean, if there's another way in, I'd much rather do that
Yeah.
than
I
run
mean,
a hole.
don't we have to go through the whole maze to get there? Isn't the hole a little easier, probably? Make it a little wider.
Probably more direct.
Yeah, because then we'd have to go through the whole Illithian ruins, and I don't
True.
remember how to get there.
That's just
Into the hole.
So you can all fairly easily sort of make the hole a little bit wider. It doesn't seem to ruin it structurally. And without much ado, you are able to make it down, though you will not be able to bring your unicorn or your horses or your stag or anything.
I cast Speak with Animals at will and tell the horses to stay here and stay calm.
They all seem fine with it, including Heart, who is eating some wood on the side of the house, just sort of chewing on it.
And I try to tell Stira to keep a watch over them, please.
it's fine.
Stira lowers, your stag lowers its head and looks you in the eyes, and you can see sort of a acknowledgement there. And then it glances at your trident, and then glances back at you, and then looks away.
I'll get rid of it.
Your unicorn says,
Right after this.
Deirdre, please stay safe. And don't trust anything that comes from beneath the earth.
Aye, best friend. You stay safe too, and if anything happens, just spread good, I guess. That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Stay safe, noble companion, and keep the rest of them on the path of good.
I'll try my best.
That you will. And the rest of the horses don't say shit. Cool. So you head on down and you find yourself in the study area. There is just the glass shattered all over the place, and there's some sort of altar area that seems like there was a huge explosion that happened here, and the floor is crumbled down. You're in this room, and there seems to be an adjoining room that was once separated by a mirror of some kind, and there is just no floor there. You can look down. There's a strange, weird vat down below you. It's a weird space.
What's in the vat?
Weird glowing liquid.
Is it that jelly stuff?
Yeah.
I remember that because we came back.
Yeah.
Is the finding ladies finding anything?
She's starting to look around. There's a lot to deal with. She's like, I've never been in an Illithian ruin before, but this is really interesting. Thanks for bringing me here.
Yeah, my first time. I'll remember it like it was yesterday.
Do you?
No, actually, it was wiped from my memory, but
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Supposedly, we had something to do with the floor situation and all the damage, but
Well, I haven't seen you in action, but I believe it. If you took down the Sky Serpent, clearly capable.
of breaking glass. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, this glass is strange as well. It's of a material that I've never seen before.
Does it cast a shadow?
Does anyone have a light source?
Produce flame.
Yeah, the light sort of goes through it. It's sort of like normal light would.
Okay.
Though it is a little it's a little wavy. Like as the light touches the thing, it does sort of like distort a little bit before going through.
Like regular glass or like special?
Like a little different, a little
Is it just
stranger.
plastic?
It's not plastic. It is of a glass-like material. And this is the thing that strikes me as the most interesting right off the bat. But I'll keep looking. If you guys want to look around as well,
We look.
We
Cool.
search.
So make investigation checks all.
Natural 20.
Ooh, and that's
Nice.
so thing.
25.
9. I might be a cop, but
Deirdre's not doing so good.
10.
Deirdre can't see today.
19.
Is it 8?
Yeah, you look around. Most of you, Oliver, you find some texts, some Illithian texts that you can't read. Kira, you don't find much of anything. You're just sort of like looking at your trident worriedly.
I am worried.
Tapper, you don't really know what to look for. What'd you get?
19.
19. You find things of interest that probably are valuable, but you know. Wallace, you go over to the glass pretty quickly, and you start like trying to jigsaw the glass together a little bit. And I mean it's weirdly warm down here. And as you're doing so, some of your moisture sort of drops onto the glass, but it doesn't hit the glass. It sort of goes through the glass.
Okay.
Like,
Through the looking glass, friends?
Does it come out the other side?
no. Well, you have it on the ground, but yeah, if you lift it up, there's nothing down below. It's
They
not wet on the
shattered
ground.
their portal.
Can I
I'm gonna pick it up and
Mending.
try to put
Can I
my hand
mend?
through it.
the glass?
Your hand goes into it, yeah.
Guys,
Can I mend the glass?
how big is the piece?
Well, you've put a lot of small pieces together,
Oh.
basically.
Is there like a piece big enough for me to put my head through?
No, but you could arrange them on the ground in such a way that you could probably put your head through. You put your head through, and you find your head is in sort of this like earthen tunnel that smells completely different from where you were previously.
Do I like know what the smell is?
Dirt.
Real smell check.
But it's not.
This
it's
smells
nothing
like mildewy and strange with like sort of that arcane jelly sort of scent and burning. When you stick your head through, it smells like fresh dirt.
Can I like stick my hand through and like grab the dirt and take it out?
Yeah, and you pull it out, and you have dirt in your hand now.
Whoa.
Guys, so this glass is a portal. Let's get all of the pieces of glass together and scoop them together.
I love puzzles.
You can make an Arcana check if you want, or a history. If anybody wants to make a history check on this, they're free to.
I will.
History or
Natural 20!
Shit.
Oh
I
my
won't. I'll
God.
leave it.
You remember an old tale that like a super old pirate. He had 2 peg legs and an eye patch and like no teeth. Told you of way back before Renarsia was Renarsia, before teleportation magic was created regularly by the Extant Sortilegium. The only way to teleport was the only way to like move great distances at a great speed was by admiring your appearance. And you always thought that was just a fucking dumb story told by a senile old man, but.
It appears that this is some sort of teleportation mirror. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna take like a piece of the glass.
Sure.
I'm gonna stick my hand through
With the glass.
with the glass.
As the glass touches the glass, it doesn't go through.
Okay, interesting.
Should we go through?
I will.
I
It's
mean-
just dirt on the
I
other
will
side.
too.
Right, if one person goes through, we should all.
I'll go through.
you want to lead the charge?
Yeah.
Well, Tracker.
Yeah, Eerie. This is my guess is how they escaped.
I'm gonna badger up
Oh, all right.
and I'm gonna go through the glass.
Well, let's hope that this doesn't get disturbed while we're in there, because I can only imagine we're not going to be able to come back out this way if this gets separated.
Mending,
Can you
mending,
mending it? Can you put this in a more permanent?
You mend enough of it over however long it takes.
It's a minute.
Should
yeah.
we leave Felix here to guard it?
Sure. I'm not really sure what she'll do.
Well,
You can put her in a
yeah.
more capable.
Oliver will be
Form.
too far away to
It would
know
take
what's
some time,
happening.
wouldn't it?
Oh, alright, never mind. Let's all just go.
I just have to cast it.
I'm going through the glass.
Cool. You boom, jump through the glass.
Me
It
too.
is.
Same.
Eerie follows.
Is it so it's like a tunnel?
So basically, yeah, you emerge on the other side, and as you look behind you, it seems that there are it was a similarly shattered glass mirror that has been like arranged and like pressed into this dirt wall, in such a way that all the edges are touching each other. It's not like mended or held there in any way, and it's clearly been shattered, but it's pressed there to maintain in place by sort of the soft, slightly wet dirt. And you're just in this like dirt tunnel that like leads onwards and curves to the side.
I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna like sniff around with my badger nose.
Cool. Make perception checks.
I assume we're just like single file.
Yeah, it's hard to be
17.
As you're going through, you smell, and most of it's just sort of dirt and things that you would imagine finding in the dirt, but then you catch a whiff of something vaguely draconic.
Keep going.
And as you sort of turn the corner, you see that the tunnel widens out into this large room. In this large room, there are like 30 or 40 other tunnels branching out into different areas, just going every which way.
Follow?
Well, but more interestingly in the tunnel, there's one large archway seeming to lead somewhere else, and sitting in front of that archway is a huge wyvern with a figure on its back, sitting there with like a lance slung over the shoulder, looking around.
Do I recognize?
You might actually. I forgot his name because I couldn't print out the thing, but this has a similar appearance. You can tell by this sort of a spiked spear. He's a rogue dragon knight that patrols the seas around Relfheim. He's sort of a pirate, but he's like a pirate with a golden heart sort of situation. He's a very famous sort of warrior that is alive today.
So like good guy?
Yeah, like an anti-hero sort of situation.
Okay. I'm gonna like badger signal everyone to stop.
I think the badger wants us to proceed.
Proceed.
Don't proceed. Get
We're
down.
supposed to attack the dragon.
Stealthy.
So, if we're chasing clones, my money's on that being a clone as well.
Did it cast a shadow?
I mean, it's hard to tell underground.
Produce flame in there and see if it's.
Well, that'll give us away.
Well, right, but if it's not a clone, maybe we.
Does he smell like a person?
Yeah.
If it's not a clone, maybe we can talk to it, and if it is a clone, try to kill it.
Alright.
Yeah, good plan.
Okay. I'm gonna
Okay,
go.
before we go in, Deirdre casts Death Lord on Tapper because he's kind of like the glass cannon type of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does Death Ward do? Well, I need to know.
When you get hit and it should reduce you to 0 hit points, you drop to 1 instead.
Got it.
Is that a concentration spell, or is that just something that lasts?
It is not.
Eerie says, I want to repeat, I'm not going to fight for you guys. That's not in my contract.
Right.
You
I
can
have
just
a
hang
vote,
back.
but I don't want to use it.
You'll fight for your life if you have to.
That being said, it seems like what you're doing is pretty important. The whole fate of the world situation, you know. I, for one, really like teleporting, because I don't like walking everywhere. And if whatever's happening right now has something to do with the portal crawlers, I would sure like that to go away. So I'm gonna help you out here. I'll go talk to it.
Oh, a good Samaritan.
Okay.
Well, it's in my own best interest. I'll go talk to it. If it's not a clone, I'll give you the okay. If it is a clone, I'll lead it down one of these other tunnels into this really cool, complex dungeon that we don't have time to do. And you guys better take care of whatever's creating the clones before I die. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm upping my price to 8,000.
Jesus.
That's
Okay,
fair.
fine.
Interesting.
Alright?
We'll talk about that later.
I
No,
was
that's-
unaware.
That's gonna be set in stone. And if you don't pay it, I'm sure one of them extensortively
Yeah, they can
will.
deal with it.
Yeah, you'll get paid.
I should ask
Unless
for
we
double.
die. Then you don't get paid at all.
Well, then, can't get money anyway. Alright. Here we go.
Good luck.
And she sort of, like, pushes past you guys and walks out to the center.
Let's go.
She walks up, sort of raises her hand, and the wyvern just And the guy with the spear like pulls his spear out and she goes, "Hi, are you a clone?" And he starts to wind up his spear and she goes, "He's a clone." And then just disappears in a flash of shadow and appears in one of the sort of side hallways and says, "Hey, clone, come and get me." And starts sprinting down the hallway and the wyvern just starts running after her down the hallway.
Through the archway.
Through the archway. Go.
You run through and you're looking behind you and you, oh god, and you make your way into a giant chamber, like fucking huge.
What do I smell?
Well, I'll tell you what you see first.
Okay.
This chamber is lit up in a way that the rest of the underground hasn't. It's been very dim light, but this is bright light in this huge sort of circular chamber that seems just, the floor sort of goes down into a ditch. There's like a slight decline into the center. Around the side of the walls, there are these strange basins, like sort of like sake, like sake glasses, but huge, like you could stand in one. Just all littering the sides.
That's where the clones are made.
Up on the walls, there are
What does that seem?
people
Star Wars.
sort of chained to the wall. And as you scan around, they're sort of like chained up to the wall, and there's sort of this bright, piercing light coming from each of their foreheads to the center of the room, where a beautifully horrifying scepter is circling, suspended as though by magic.
I think we know what that is.
It's a scepter. Oh yeah.
Scepter of
You
memories.
hear sort of like moaning and like groaning from the people up on the walls, and as you look around, do you spot a familiar face?
Is it Brandon?
Brandon Two Snatcher, sat on the wall, bright light coming from his face. You see a cluster of people in the center of the room, all sort of looking down, and it seems as though they're digging. But as you sort of hustle in, not terribly stealthy, their head turns up, and you see Tapper turn around and look at you.
Hell yeah.
I throw my spear at him. I know it's not Tapper.
You just immediately throw the spear?
Well, we gotta get rid of him.
Okay, make an attack roll.
My dear spear. Natural 20.
Alright, roll some damage. Oh
shit.
Tapper, what's your constitution save?
Oh no.
What's your constitution modifier?
Did I just absorb
My
Tapper?
con modifier?
Yeah.
It's a +1.
Okay.
Oh, come.
I'm a bad person.
No,
It's
this
a
is
clone
exciting.
of Tapper. It's gonna have his
Yeah,
stats.
this is fun now.
You have a tapper soul.
But what if it gets absorbed real Tapper?
Yeah, it
Hold
doesn't.
on.
Yeah.
So the spear, right into Tapper. And as this fake Tapper, and as it does so, just Tapper begins to be sucked into the spear.
Fake Tapper?
Fake Tapper begins to be sucked in the spear, and as that does happen, your brain starts to ache.
I'm so
Hey,
sorry.
Tapper, oh you idiot.
And you fall to the ground, and as Tapper is absorbed, fake Tapper is absorbed completely into the spear. It doesn't change form as it should, but Tapper falls completely unconscious.
Tapper,
I'm
look at me.
so
Look at
sorry.
me.
We have to absorb our clones. That's our missing
We have
memories.
to eat them.
Tapper?
I'm out.
In this commotion, you see the rest of the people sort of like stand up, and it is, in fact, the rest of you
Love
What?
my returning.
Why did you do that?
joined
What
by
outfit-
one.
What
Let me.
outfit is Wallace wearing?
Wallace is wearing your previous outfit.
Pirate outfit?
No, before the pirate outfit.
Like regular outfit?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what that was.
Does Millie have two normal-looking eyes?
Yes.
Fuck her.
Joined by another individual, one you might know.
Barbara Streisand.
I killed Tapper. Why does
You see the masked face of Cerebrosus turn around.
Hey, Cerebrosus.
Love of mine returning.
Oh, it looks like my best friends have joined me. For a second time.
It's the fucking Nilbog. I hate that bitch.
It's not the Nilbog.
Oh, it didn't sound like.
I
Cerebrosus.
wish it was the Nilbog.
Cerebrosus has spoken in 3 voices that you've heard so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot going on there. Well, welcome to my little abode. Are you here to help? Are you here to get your friend or your memories back?
Oh, we're here to kill you.
Oh. You can kill me all you want. That won't
Okay.
stop his plan.
Who's
Yes.
his? There's a man behind the man. There's always a bigger fish. Let's go. Come on, Tappa.
You've seen what happens when one of your clones dies. It seems, interestingly, that the original one does too. Would you look at that? That's interesting. She pulls out a knife and holds it up to Kira, like fake Kira's neck.
Yeah, do it.
And fake Kira has an eye missing. Now you have a choice here. You can help, you can leave, or you can die, or you can willingly give your memories to the scepter. Once we have all the memories, the plans will be complete. We can find it. We can find it. Don't tell them we can find it. If we don't tell them what it is, it doesn't matter. If we tell them, we can find it. And you hear at this point Brandon up on the wall just like scream out in agony.
Die.
All right, we're gonna roll for initiative.